Hey guys, it's Friday, so it's time for another Friday Reads video, and I'm in the middle of all of this. Yeah, as usual, got lots of things I'm kind of juggling at once. To get started, I am listening to an audiobook, All Our Yesterdays. This is by Kristen Terrell. It's a time-traveling YA book, and there's a love triangle in there, but don't panic, it doesn't really get heavy-handed on the romance, or even on the science for that matter. It is definitely character-driven, so you're really following the progression of these characters. Our main character being a young woman by the name of M and her friend Finn. They travel back in time to try and prevent something from happening that will eventually tear their world apart. We don't get a lot of background or world building in it. It's just sort of hinted at that some tragic event happened that sort of really messed things up in the future. And they have gone back in time to try and prevent this from happening. So I'm really enjoying it so far. I'd say I'm probably about 3/4 of the way through it right now. I am also reading Deadlands Harvest by Rachel Ochs. This is book 2 in the Deadlands saga. I have already read 100 Days in Deadland, which was book 1. And it's a classic tale on the 7 deadly sins, based on the poem by Dante Alighieri, but it is a total zombie apocalypse style, as it says. I'm really loving this one. I received this copy from the author, and the table of contents shows the various sins, and within each chapter it sort of focuses, the events are sort of focused around those particular sins, and you see how messed up the world is and how messed up people are in just their struggles to survive. But it is a really good zombie story, but it's also very good in terms of the character development. I really love all the characters within it. I'm also reading 2 mangas. One of them is Blood Lad. This is by Yuki Kodama. I started reading this online at first and decided I was going to go ahead and pick up a physical copy. So I went with the bind-up, number 1. This contains 2 volumes. And when I was trying to find my place within the book, I noticed that the translations were different between the online copy and this copy. So that was kind of interesting. So it made me just decide to start it right over from the beginning again. So currently I'm I'd say about midway through. Let's see, page-wise, probably about page 145. But it follows this guy named Stas. He's a vampire, and he lives in the demon world. And he's sort of a boss of a specific territory. He's a bit of an otaku, which is someone who's sort of kind of just spends all their time reading manga and watching anime and playing video games. He's just obsessed with, like, Tokyo culture, everything. And one day, this girl here kind of falls into the demon world, and his friends kind of bring him to their boss, and he's instantly in love with her. And then something happens, and now he's sort of determined to sort of like help her sort of come back to life and get back into the real world. And so he travels to the real world with her and just goes crazy over everything around him and everything that he's been obsessed with all the time, reading in manga and stuff like that. Got some nice color pages in the beginning, which I really liked. And then this is particularly just the black and white, but it's got a good look to the character, and the artwork is really nice. And I'm enjoying the story. I wasn't too sure about it at first, but it's really growing on me, and I like the humor within it as well, too. And then I'm reading a horror manga, this massive beast here, entitled Another. And this is by Yukito Ayatsuji. Forgive me if I've slaughtered that name. I'm sure I have. I don't know if you can read it on the side there. And this is a bind-up that contains all 5 volumes within the series. And it follows the 3rd year, class 3 at Yomiyama Middle School. And 26 years ago, a very much beloved student died in an accident, and they decided to sort of just keep that person's spirit alive by pretending literally that they were still alive. They had their seat and their desk left free. They would talk about them as if they were still around, and it's kind of strange, but yeah, it went through the whole year like that. And then at the final class picture, there's an extra person in the class picture that shouldn't be there. Yeah, and events kind of got really weird from then on. And every year they have these things called the fundamentals, which are a bit like superstitions that they have to follow to kind of prevent tragic events from happening. Because ever since that day, there's always something bad that seems to happen. And like, there's on years and off years. There's good years where nothing happens, and then there's off years where something bad happens to either a student or someone within their family within, like, I think 2 generations, like a parent or a grandparent. And these fundamentals are superstitions that they follow to try and prevent these things from happening. And we meet this boy named Koichi Sakakibara. He's a transfer student who's come to the school, and he starts to uncover some very strange things going on with regards to this sort of curse that seems to follow this class 3. No matter where they go, it's not like the classroom they're in. Wherever they go within the school, it just seems to affect that particular class. So it's really interesting. The more I read, the more intriguing this story is. I like the artwork in it. I'll show you a couple panels here. Pretty cool. The more darker ones there. But overall, yeah, I'm really enjoying it. That's a bit bloody. So yeah, like I said, this is complete within this bind up here of all 5 volumes. I think it's 5, and I can't wait to finish it. I've only literally got this much left to read. So that's what I'll be doing this weekend, along with watching soccer, because the USA is still within the FIFA World Cup, so we're still alive. Kind of squeaked by into the next round. So that's what I'll be doing this weekend: watching soccer, reading, and just sort of relaxing. It's supposed to be a hot one. So hope you guys have a great weekend. Let me know, as usual, down below what you're reading, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.